Over the past 2 decades, there have been an influx of Chinese investments in Zimbabwe, with the extractive sector receiving a huge share of the investments. While Chinese investments in Zimbabwe have been credited for offering a lifeline to Zimbabwe's struggling economy, which has been reeling under Western imposed sanctions for over 20 years, Chinese investments in Zimbabwe have mostly received negative press coverage in Western media. This mining company, Jiding Mining Zimbabwe, in Mutoko, Mashonaland East Province, have fallen victim of the Western smear campaign of Chinese enterprises operating in Zimbabwe. Despite all the negative coverage by Western press about Chinese investments in Zimbabwe, interactions with local employees have shown that the accusations are based on baseless grounds. A closer look shows that Chinese investments in this area have actually changed the livelihoods of local communities by bringing jobs in a community that previously largely depended on subsistence farming.
A recent story by The Guardian claimed that Chinese mining companies in Mashonaland East Province were unjustly displacing villagers to pave way for their mining operations. The report alleged that an 82-year-old local villager collapsed when he heard of the move by the Chinese firm Jiding Mining Zimbabwe. However, the 82-year-old man in the village, Salison Ranjisi, told Xinhua that he had high blood pressure but never collapsed.
Vanhu vakanyepa kuti ndakafenda haisi chokwadi. Vakandinyepera.
Ranjisi said the Guardian's claim that relocated families were given $2,500 as compensation was not accurate.
Yanga iri 4,000, then vakazoisa mari ya grocery 300, then yekudisturba guwa ravasekuru vangu ndakada vachaja 1.5 kwanzi hazviite tinokupa 500 kubva kwaita 4.8.
Ranjisi said he moved after signing the contract and receiving the compensation, and that there was no one forcing him to leave. Another Chinese mining company that was mentioned in the story, Shanghai Yuan, was wrongfully written as Shanghai Yuan Mining Investments. Robert Mavuta, the councillor for Ward 10 in Zisengwe, Nemagunde village, said no family in his ward had been relocated by Shanghai Yuan, but in case the need for relocation arises, proper procedures will be followed.
At the moment, there is no one still yet. We've been displaced. No family has been displaced. But in case, if there is any family which is to be displaced, we will sit down and talk, and then the place, and they are going to be compensated accordingly and justly. We are not going to follow the procedures of relocating those people, which is fair to all those people who are going to be affected.
The Guardian story alleged that workers at the mines were subject to long shifts, low pay, and physical abuse. However, local employees of the Chinese companies refuted the claims.
We don't have any problem about the salary because I get the US and the RTGS.
The workers say they are satisfied with the salaries given the high inflation in the country. The stones produced in this area are known as Zimbabwean marble, which can be used for cladding buildings and decorating kitchens and bathrooms. However, in the area whose economic activity was mainly subsistence farming, local villagers say that before Chinese investors came, the black granite rocks had no economic value to locals.
So matombo aya taingoyaonawo tisingazivi kuti ano ufumi, asi nokuuya kwakazoitawo avo vakauyawo varunga vakatitorawo mabasa, takutoonawo totiwo upenyu hwedu hwakutochinja, takutowanawo kuwararamisa mhuri dzedu, tichiwanawo mari, tichiwanawo zvekuti something chibhadharawo chikafu, chitengawo zvaunenge uchidawo.
The Chinese mining companies are also positively impacting local communities through skills transfer initiatives.
Kuvhura kwakaita makambani ari munharaunda yedu inei, so zvashanduka zvakawandisa. Ini wacho wekutanga ndakwanisawo kuziva mushini, vamwe wakawandisa wakwanisawo kuraramisa mhuri dzavo, zvasiyana nezvekudhara zvokuti munhu aingomukawo achingomuka ari pamba, achiswera ari pamba. So zvakawanda zvashanduka, vamwe vari kuvakawo dzimba, vamwe vachitengawo zvokurima vachirima.
According to the Chinese embassy in Zimbabwe, Chinese accumulated investment in Zimbabwe amounted to nearly $2 billion by the end of 2019, boosting local employment and tax revenues. In response to the Guardian story, a Zimbabwean newspaper published an editorial saying that Western countries want China out of Zimbabwe in order to push Zimbabwe into a development trap, and that the anti-China rhetoric in Western press was meant to tarnish relations between Zimbabwe and China.
Today, we get some uninvited voices talking about the friendship between the People's Republic of China and Zimbabwe, trying to bracken what has been achieved through the help from the People's Republic of China. So that misinformation, disinformation, no matter how they will scream or shout, it is not going to destroy that comprehensive strategic partnership between the two people. So that friendship will continue to grow day by day, year, month by month, year by year, decades upon decades and centuries upon centuries to come. And nothing is going to disturb or destroy that friendship between our two countries.
According to an investigation conducted by the Herald last October, journalists in Zimbabwe were allegedly paid to peddle lies and sensationalize issues by portraying Chinese businesses in a negative way. The journalists were allegedly offered $1,000 for each anti-Chinese enterprise story they wrote.
These guys are waging economic warfare against China, and it is played out directly in China and in places like Zimbabwe, in places like Namibia, Zambia. They are playing that economic warfare in all these places. This is how the Western media has lost its dominant role in the world, because they try to tell people things that are not real. They do a good job themselves of discrediting themselves and killing themselves. They do a very good job